Hello and welcome back to Spyro 3 Part 29, and in this part we will be discussing the Hobbit trilogy because that's what we said. That's what I said we were gonna do.
So, spoiler alert, Smog dies towards the end of the story. But,
Smog dies like at the two-thirds part of the story. Well, not during the Hobbit, but during the actual cinematic
the
trilogy.
desolation of Smog.
No, he doesn't die during the Desolation of Smog. He dies at the start of the Battle of Five Armies, which is really weird because the Battle of Five Armies. Have you actually gotten to that point in the book yet?
Well, I mean, I suppose I should have been expecting it because of a very faithful adaptation that I've heard of. All that I've read up to so far that Lake Town has basically been laid to the ground in destruction because of Smog, but because the Thrush who overheard Bilbo Baggins, who discovered Smog's weakness in his left breastplate, then the Thrush flew down to Lake Town and told Bard, I think was his name.
Yes, Bard the Guardsman.
Bard the Guardsman, and it was Bard's arrow in the exact freaking place, the Chekhov's gun that finally fired, and Smog, I'm page 210 of 279. Smog is dead. So about the 3/4 mark.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Hmm.
the Desolation of Smog movie totally shits all over that.
Is it mostly just setting up Smog, like the conversation he has with Bilbo Baggins?
No, actually, they skim over a bunch. Well, they don't skim over the conversation. They actually do lengthen it slightly, but they lengthen it with exposition and world building that didn't need to be there.
They might as well have just done what the book did and then just.
They may as well just done what the '70s movie did. I love the '70s Hobbit movie, man. That is a piece of cinematic filmmaking that I would most certainly not like to do. Which is why I mentioned that we should be doing that eventually.
There's a lot of things we should be doing.
Yes, but in Desolation of Smog in particular, there's a lot of added character to the group of protagonists, specifically the dwarves and the elves that weren't actually supposed to be here. Oh yeah, we are now escaping a UFO.
It's
I think inside that is actually a dinosaur. I think it's supposed to be a sheep.
it's supposed to be
no,
a sheep. It's a
but no, it's a dinosaur.
it's a sheep that's been genetically modified into a dinosaur.
That is not how genetic modification works.
You're absolutely right. It's more like genetic retardation. We're
Ah,
slowing down his genes
to turn him into a much more efficient predator.
to turn him into a pea-brained dinosaur with tiny arms.
Well, we can't even see his arms.
It's because they're so tiny.
Oh, I see. All right, but yeah, I like the Hobbit trilogy when it comes to the movies. But really, the only good movie in there, in my personal opinion, is the first one, An Unexpected Journey.
Is that what the first one's called? The Unexpected Journey?
Yep.
Because the book opens with the chapter called An Unexpected Party.
Speaking of Lord of the Rings stuff, Nori.
Nori, Dory, Biffer, Bofer, Bomber, Gloin, Thorin. Fuck. That's all I remember. Balin. Uh, all their names rhyme with each other. I can't remember which ones they are.
Nori, Dory, and Ori.
And Ori. Ori was one of them. Fuck.
And Biffer and Boffer.
Biffer.
Those are the five that you need to remember.
You got Biffers and Bofers and Brandy Bucks. I got second breakfast for all them goofy fucks. Lift up my guts, teabagging's my nuts.
Uh, I don't think that rap music really goes out that well with J.R.R. Tolkien's aesthetic.
It does when Epic Rap Battles does it. It's some of the funniest shit I've ever heard. And it's true. We don't need a backstory on every fucking tree branch. Like the characters will just stop everything to give exposition on a character.
Well, that's how we got all of our story significance for Sting, which is totally looked over in the movie.
I mean, not really. I mean, in Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers, Sting reappears, and Frodo makes a point to mention it to Gollum while he's holding Gollum at the throat with the sword.
Well, actually, Frodo has stings throughout the entirety of Lord of the
Yes, he
Rings.
does, because he received it from Bilbo. Because Bilbo used it to. He slew a bunch of spiders with Sting.
Yep.
And I like how, Sting is a short sword, but it might as well be a regular sword because Bilbo is hobbit sized.
Yep. I like Sting, honestly.
Sting is yeah, it was also Bilbo who dubbed it Sting.
Yep. I was hoping that the movies would actually do what I heard the books did, and actually give a bunch of backstory and importance to Sting, but no, they gloss over it.
Well, let's see.
They make mention that Sting is of Elvish make, and that's about it.
Yeah, it's of Elvish make, and it seems to be a rather well-known weapon, except maybe.
Except that the dwarves don't recognize it.
Well, nobody recognizes it because Bilbo calls it Sting, which is not necessarily its true name if it's an Elvish weapon.
Right.
Because he only uses Sting a couple of times in the story. I know he uses it to slay the spiders, but I think in every other instance he's just using it to defend himself.
Yeah, during the movie adaptation in the 70s, he was using Sting as a light source.
Is this guy's name? This guy is named after the vehicle that they use to clean the ice?
No. This guy is named Zamboni specifically because all these guys are named after or named similarly to how great magicians of the time would have been named.
So Houdini.
Yes.
Zamboni.
And who knows, maybe even Da Vinci.
But Da Vinci wasn't a well, he was a magician, but he did not sell a lot of shows in Las Vegas.
This is because Las Vegas did not yet exist.
He would have been most welcome in Las Vegas.
He also would have been most welcome in Venice, but I don't think he went there either.
No, then. Well, I mean, Assassin's Creed 2 put Da Vinci in Venice.
Yeah, but was that accurate?
I have no clue. You're some kind of.
The accuracy of Assassin's Creed games. Who's an historical figure? They're not supposed to be here.
They're not supposed to be here. Yeah, sure. You murdered the Pope, who was elected in 1492. That is historical canon.
So when are we gonna get a future game in the Assassin's Creed universe? Like, as in, we use Abstergo's tech in order to travel into future memories.
The future memories.
Yes.
How does one remember something that hasn't happened yet, though?
By breaking the laws of space and time, of course.
Well, which they've already done a number of times, so I think it's about time. The fantastic Frederico.
Now, the whirlwind that this guy spawns is actually on a time limit. It only stays open for as long as he's pointing his wand at it.
So he's not pointing his wand at it now?
Yep. Behold, the whirlwind is gone.
Behold, that size really doesn't matter with these enemies.
Yeah, they're all fragile crystals. They're all fragile crystal creatures, so they go down with your fire attack very easily. But a good portion of them are resistant to your charge attack by their size, like the bears.
Not the octopus, though.
No, the octopi are most certainly susceptible to your charge, mostly because you don't have a super breath while you're underwater.
Right.
Super breath would take them down. Yes, Federico, I need you to spawn the whirlwind again so I can continue.
Alright, we killed all the enemies. There's nothing that can slow us down now.
Except the whirlwind isn't here.
Except we need
Back to Federico.
Except we need to activate the event first.
So my brother and I have actually been getting into the Pokemon TCG, and we're trying to start doing stuff competitively. So I'm looking into spoilers for Sun and Moon, and really looks like grass is going to be the way to go when it comes to the TCG this time around.
Nice.
At least when it comes to limited play.
Are there any abilities you look forward to using?
Oh yeah, Decidueye's ability. Once per turn before you attack, you can put 2 damage counters on any of your opponent's Pokemon. I'm gonna love using that as a supporter.
Wow.
And with Pinsir as my active, I'll be able to just flush out my opponent's resources constantly. Because Pinsir's got Heaven's Throw, which for 2 colorless energy allows me to return my opponent's active Pokemon to their hand.
Damn. So basically, you're controlling and pinging.
Yep.
I thought Moneybags was going to say that he has a knack for making money disappear.
And if you talk to the gnome, he actually brings up the fact that he is working with Moneybags.
The astounding Arturo. The amazing Alan. The stupendous Steve.
The ravishing Ricardo.
The magical Michael.
Oh, dude, we don't like that movie. It turns into a drug movie halfway through, and I don't know why.
He thought that he was the shit. No, it was only in his own head. He actually sounded terrible.
He was the shit when it came to the actual strip dances. The strip dances are actually pretty goddamn cool. But it turns into a drug movie halfway through, and why did it need to do that?
Well, I mean, don't you know? If you're a stripper, all you're doing is hard drugs.
I don't know anyone that would personally take offense to that, but I take personal offense to that, so there.
You need to watch Kill Bill Volume 2.
I have seen Kill Bill Volume 2, but I don't think I've seen it all the way through.
Then you might remember that the guy who owns the strip club that Bill's brother works at offers cocaine to one of his strippers. He says, "Come on, baby, be somebody." Oh, what a terrible message for the children. Cocaine is bad, okay? Drugs are bad.
Sure thing, Mr. Garrison.
I'm just saying that you shouldn't do drugs, because drugs are bad, okay? It should have been the Marvelous Marvello.
Lloyd!
Lloyd!
Lloyd. Unfortunately, the reason why I like that particular dragon has nothing to do with this game.
I can't believe we have 121 eggs.
Oh, come on. There's like 100... Is it 150? It's like 150 or 180 in total.
Dear God. Mario already is quite jelly, like a sandwich.
Alright. But... we will be ending this part on a minigame. A Bentley minigame, I think.
Yay!
Nope, no, we're ending this part on the slide.
Will we also hear some expositions and telling what's-its? No! Yay!
For the record, this slide is much easier to go through than any of the slides in Chamber of Secrets were. I would love to record Chamber of Secrets, but I can't get a working ISO for it.
It looks like it controls even better than the Jersey Devil slide. The Jersey Devil sliding physics were fucking terrible.
Well, the problem with the Chamber of Secrets slide wasn't that its physics were bad. It was quite specifically that the controls for it weren't explained very well, or at all, I think. And there was also the pretty significant problem of the fact that attempting to change direction, although slowed you down, didn't slow you down nearly as much as it needed to.
Well, first, a slide should be a relatively simple activity.
It should be, but then you complicate it with bullshit physics and not explain the controls, and then you summon Elise to fix everything.
I remember in Jersey Devil, like, you had the most difficult time just turning.
Hey, I've not actually played Jersey Devil, so I did not.
A lot of the sliding levels were pretty shitty.
So do we enter into that here, or yeah, we're gonna enter into the Bentley minigame here, and then we'll awkwardly jump cut out because that
Yeah.
is what we do.
Bentley.